Ow. Fuck, that hurt. Ow. Right as I start, and the light falls directly on my head. Mm. Okay. Live on YouTube? Yes, I am. Am I live on Twitch? Yes, I am. Okay. What the hell did I just put? There, right here. Okay. We need to make some of this again. My dehydrator broke. I feel like there's glass shards in this. I can see something. Hey, Grindos. Not really. Pain question, but when doing oil washes, do you varnish before, after applying the art? Um, that depends. Wait, there we go. Okay, my camera froze. Um, that's honestly up to you, and it depends on the type of varnish. Generally speaking, I varnish after I do oil washes. Um, Hey, Maddie. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Maddie. My Twitch is lonely. So, yeah. Technically, what I do the most is I apply a varnish beforehand, a more glossy one, so it gets in, so I get better capillary action out of it. Then I do a varnish after, but that's a little bit more intensive to do. Ah, that explains why the camera wasn't working correctly. It's something blocking a sensor. Goes to the mother. Hopefully my voice is coming through. Is it coming through? Not, I'll just start and restart the stream. Let me check it over here. Check it. Yep, it's working. Just because it works on one end doesn't mean it works on... Or it works on my end doesn't mean it works on all ends. This is transparent red iron oxide. Vintage. Really old can of it. I don't even know the age. I think it's late 60s. Knowing the people I got it from. Late 60s to early 70s. Very similar to the modern stuff. Very, very strange pigment as a whole. When it's in vintage, though. Vintage has more black in it for some reason. It's like it has iron, like black iron oxide in it when it granulates. And I know it doesn't have that in here, but it looks like it does. Do a video on oil washes, actually. I'm gonna think about it. There are some downsides to them that nobody talks about. Some significant downsides to them. Ignoring the dangerous practices hobby painters do that can cause fires. Yeah. Fall down like that. Okay. Water. Got to finish up the paints that we made yesterday. So, yeah, the yield from this quinacridone purple is awful. Let's make the quinacridone purple again. A lot of pigment still left, actually. There. All right. Yep. A little fun fact about this pigment, it's the only non-completely light-fast quinacridone. Okay. Hey, Bob. Not much, just finishing up the pans that we made the last stream. All the while having a broken dehydrator because it's... Yeah, it broke last night. It lasted a total of 1 month before it broke. Fantastic. That's the reason why you don't buy cheap dehydrators. Thankfully, I can still return it. I know. If it broke today, I wouldn't have been able to return it. Oh, I mean tomorrow. But it broke today. So very happy about that one. I don't remember what pigments those are. I think it was this right here. No. I used Hansa PY3. Hansa Yellow. I used this one right here. Yeah, it's definitely that one. Yes, correct. Now, what? Which diarylide? There's multiple diarylides. Give you a hint, it's a common one. It's not one of the weird ones. Yes, it is PY83. Yeah, it's the most common. A lot of the other ones are bad and don't get produced anymore. So, I think there's a couple newer ones in PY83 as well. Which isn't saying much because it is, you know, fairly old of a pigment. It's only PY83. Hey, Fox. There's, what, like 230 yellow pigments now? 240? I don't remember how many off the top of my head. I know there's like 300 red pigments. Something close to that. Yes. Awesome. Glad things are getting in motion. Awesome. Ugh. Keep me updated. You know I'm always looking for things to paint, so... Bismuth Vanadate. This one right here. Here, let me grab the bottle that isn't screwed up. It's about as opaque as cadmium is. It's not as opaque, but it's just about as opaque. Fox, why'd you donate money? You're broke. Thank you. But I was actually just about to give you money. Uh, I'll put it towards good use. Uh, okay. We have this one right here. Need to also finish. Anyone can guess this pigment here? You win nothing. Oh, nice. Well, it is a yellow. You are right about that. What pigment number is it? That's the question. I could give you a hint, but that hint won't help at all. No, it is not benzimidazole yellow. Uh, PK would not be anything. P would be pigment, K would be for K, so you need PBK for it to be black. But if that was a black, PBK 38 would be, I think, titanium black. I think. When you get that far up on the black pigments, they're really hard to find, track down, so I don't have any of them. There's a lot of pigments I don't have in my collection. I do love me some benzodiazepines. I didn't say that out loud. I'm not a drug addict anymore. Fox, you'll learn about pigments, don't worry. You'll do it by osmosis. As long as I can get full 2 pans out of this, I'm fine for right now. Very bright yellow. I should turn this into an acrylic. just writing out the that's quinacridone and rust. They're the same. That's the quinacridone. Yeah, that's quinacridone and rust. That's quinacridone and rust. And these two are the R101s. They do? Whoopsies. They're very similar, I'll say that much. Primrose and Cat Light are very similar pigments. That one dried out really well. So it's like when it falls out. God, PO48 and PR101 transparent are super similar. Yeah, I'll take a look. If it's the same swatch, I'll let them know. It wouldn't be the first time I found problems on their website. Hello, Joe. Pigments don't really have flavor. So they probably added something in them to stop kids from eating them. The bitterness can also be caused by like chloromethylisothiazolinone and a couple other things that were in them. But the super old foundation paints were also house paint, which has deterrents from kids licking them as well. They have bitter agents in there and whatnot. Um, yep. I mean, if you look at the old Citadel bottles, I have one right here. Foundation paint. If I can find it. Technical. Here we go. Their old paints were made in China for one. The old foundation paints. Yeah, I have Mordian blue right here. This should, it doesn't actually say it on here, unless it kind of got rubbed away, but a lot of their older paints contain CMITBIT, which is chloromethylisothiazolinone and benzochloroisothiazolinone. Benzisothiazolinone. Something like that. It's on the newer bottles. Yeah. CMITBIT right there. On the label. Which red? Mechadendrite red or whatever it's called? I'll have videos on how to mix them sooner or later. So you can replicate the color. I believe the old foundation reds were cadmium as well. A lot of the old paints were cadmium. They didn't start phasing them out until, like, God, much later than you would think. think like 2015 they started phasing out cadmium or something like that. Um, the foundation line was all about being as opaque as possible. It was basically your base paint. How to become a paintologist? Uh, Autism. That's not a joke either. My special interest is paint. I have an art degree. I wanted to become an artist, but I'm not a great artist. Yeah. Vallejo was one of the few companies that actually was listing that they contain cadmium too. And then they started producing paint that like their cadmium flesh tone, which didn't actually have the later formulations of it didn't actually have cadmium in it, so that's the reason why they changed the name of that. Yeah. And cadmium's not honestly that bad. It's not a pigment I use because I don't want the risks of it. Uh, but I own cadmium paints, and I own a lot of them. And I own a lot of cadmium pigment too. I have, what, 25 kilogram bag here of cadmium red that I got for free. So, I'd be stupid not to take a free bag of cadmium. I believe it's cadmium red light. The pigment collection is huge. Exactly. If it wasn't for Pyrrole red and bismuth vanadate yellow, I would be using cadmium all the time. I don't think that cadmium is a good pigment these days because of those two pigments. Exactly. Free science gear is always the best. Wish I could find a free microscope. Oh, free modern microscope. Hello, Vistas. I'm going to mispronounce that so bad every time. By the way, today is not going to be a long stream. I do have a lot to do tonight, and I have a neighborhood meeting to attend to tomorrow morning, which requires me getting up early because it's at 6 p.m. And I don't like waking up before 2 p.m. on weekends. So, um, that is a question that I have for them as well, and I'm probably going to ask them that very soon because I have a lot of questions that I've been gathering up just for them. The well, Pyrrole Orange is a replacement for Cad Orange, honestly. It's almost as opaque. It's more bright. And depending on the Cad Orange, though, there are several Cad Oranges. There's also Paranone Orange, which is a good replacement for it, too. Yeah, I know it's in the SoFlat line, but the SoFlat line is weird. I think the fluid line is targeted towards pour painters, which is why they kind of removed a bunch of colors from it recently. They used to have cadmium in it, I believe, as well. Now they just have cadmium hues. Where did that quinacridone magenta go? There it is. Gotta fill up the quinacridone magentas. Yep. That orange is fluorescence. The only and it's very similar to Pyrrole in a lot of ways too. It's almost as opaque as Pyrrole is. And we're talking like very, very minorly less opaque. But yeah, that orange is a good replacement for cadmium too. I have both here. Uh, yes, PO43, Paranone Orange. Why do I do everything like this? I do it like an idiot because it's the point. There are smarter ways to do larger quantities of pigments, but I'm not doing large quantities of pigments. It's slightly hydrophobic pigment as well. Little fun fact about the fluorescence of Paranone Orange. Most people don't know that it's fluorescent. When I found out that it was fluorescent, I actually contacted a bunch of companies asking the same question of whether or not it is fluorescent or not. Because I thought that Golden was doing something really fucky with their Paranone Orange, like doping it with a fluorescent to make it brighter, which is not something I would put beneath a hobby company. But I was so used to hobby companies doing things like that that, you know, I assumed Golden was too. Turns out I was wrong. But my paranoia is not without just cause. Yeah, I started doing that after I found that out. Like Tesseract Glow, that's a black light reactive. It doesn't need to be, but it is. You can get a very similar color without it fading. But a lot of hobby paints will use optical brighteners, and optical brighteners means fluorescent. Um, if they're answering my questions, it's all public information. I'm calling as a customer, so if I ask those questions, um, yeah. Now, if I'm calling as an employee of theirs, which I'm not, that's a different story. They'll tell me things that I can't say on public. I wish I was an employee of theirs. That's a dream job for me. Oh yeah. Well, they're barely corporate. That's the reason why it seems like a cool corporate place. I'd love to move to New York and work there. Hey, I'd love to move to New York. But New York is not good for my lifestyle. I need a lot of free space. I should add my YouTube to my application to them then. God, I am running low on bismuth yellow. Oh, if I worked at their factory, I 100% would. And I'm pretty sure they would allow it because they have factory videos anyways. It'd be really funny too because it'd be like, hey, this is what a company that actually makes their own paint is like. This is what a real factory looks like, not one of those hobby companies like Procryl that just bottles their paint. They get their dispersions from Canada, not America. I get my dispersions from America. My binder's made in the US as well. It's not the go to whites. Gold and so flat is. For matte paint at least. Uh but they get their dispersion from Canada. I believe they get their binder from a house paint company in the US. They don't have a formulator on hand. They can't afford a formulator. Nor would one work with them. For reasons I won't get into. But, yeah. They don't hide the fact that they get their dispersions from Canada. I think they're pretty proud of it, too. Yep. I won't have a Procryl deal because I own my own paint company, and we're branching into hobby paint soon. So it's a conflict of interest. I'll still review other things and be honest about it. Because I have to understand what the competition's like in order to make a good paint. But I mean, my plan is to is it worth it for Golden launch their line? That's something I've been trying to get them to do for a while. They won't do it. They don't see a market for it. The fine art market is already small, and the hobby market is smaller than that. With most people using when am we branching in hobby paints? God. It depends on when we get the funding for it. I mean, you're watching me make watercolors right now. These things go for $10 a piece. It's a good profit margin, but also it's taking me a long time to make them. It takes hours. Some of them are $20+ material cost, etc., etc. But handmade watercolors is it's a thing. It's all artist paint. I'm trying to find. So currently, I'm trying to find a formula that works for mini painting. It's going to be the same grade as an artist paint, and it's going to be the same grade. It's just expensive. A 20 ml bottle is going to cost $7 USD. I'm very much the same, Joe. Very much the same. And my mini painting is not very good, despite winning a bunch of competitions. Mostly local, a couple higher end ones for my scale modeling, which I do focus on a lot more. See, I've learned how to relax. Ooh, that's a video idea. How to relax while making things as good as possible. Adding that to the list. I've started writing down video ideas. Yes. It's mostly going to be a joke. I can tell you that much. Idea. I need to do some experiments with this. Um, this is quinophalone. Quinophalone is a really weird pigment, really good pigment too. Ooh, you just reminded me of a thing. That's a video. PG-17 gray. It's a really weird thing where it's not a pigment I've used too much. It was the first time I'm using it on these little core guys. I thought I could be cheeky and use it as the base tone and then put black over it to make a black armor. I can't. The black gets absorbed and it looks exactly the same thing. So I had to use an NIR pigment to do it. NIR is near infrared. I had to use a PBK31, which is an impossible to find pigment in acrylics. You only can find it in Holbein. You know, or I have to make it myself, which I do make it myself because Holbein's hard to get. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be an entire video where I discuss it because we have to discuss NIR pigments in a video anyways, and might as well make it that. Because, was it? The reason why you can't photocopy money isn't because of the technology in the printer, like everyone kept saying. It's because of they use a chromium oxide dyes, and PG17 gray is a chromium oxide dye, which makes it NIR. It's really weird. Like, you can kind of see where I put the black, kinda, but like the super dark areas are all. I tried doing black on this guy here, and the super dark areas are all where the Pyroline green is. But yeah, just really weird. It's a really weird pigment. Very exciting. I learned something new. So yeah, we're mostly done here. Technically, I should do these, but I don't want to. Because I don't even want to give these away. I just wanted to make the watercolor to say that I made the watercolor. Because they're not perfect ASTM. I think they're what, ASTM 2? And they're on the lower end of ASTM 2? So, go put these on the dehydrator. Not really a dehydrator anymore because, well, it broke. Hasn't even been a full month. Anyways, we finished that stuff, so. Next live stream should be Friday. And I'm actually going to be ending here myself, because we just wanted to get some stuff done on stream, and I said I would stream tomorrow. Yesterday. I just didn't realize I'd start so late. So, you have a good one too, Joe. So, go raid Cryptid. Oh, what? Can't raid Cryptid. Not raiding then. See ya. Good night, everyone.